Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop Culture, and today we're going over Star Trek Picard. So Picard is a continuation of the Star Trek Next Generation. So this is something that I actually kind of have history with. Like I watched like it regularly in different, like not regularly. I watched it like here and there when I was like a kid up to like adult. Didn't really watch all of, like, I didn't really get like the story plot or anything, but I definitely liked what I saw, and I definitely went back to it and watched it again. And this, well, I should say, kind of watched it, kind of fell asleep to it. It was really, but I really loved it. I still got the notes of everything. So on top of that, I also went and watched this video from GameSpot University or Universe, where they broke down like the past and how things connect as I was watching the show. So I have a lot to like, I understand a lot more of it. So pretty much the plot of this is 14 years after the retirement from Starfleet, Jean-Luc Picard is living in a quiet life on his vineyard Chateau Picard. When he is sought out by a mysterious young woman, Daj, and in need of his help, he soon realizes she may have personal connections to his own past. So I'm going to pretty much spoil everything. Not everything, but the gist of the whole thing. So if you haven't seen it, please go see it. If not, if you haven't seen it, please go see it. If you have, then let's talk about it. So first off, there's a lot of new characters with the same time with the old characters. So let me go through the new characters first, while kind of telling the story. So you start off with Jean-Luc Picard. He's retired. He's on his vineyard, and he is pretty much just retired. He's feeling great, but there's a bit of restless in his self of wanting to be on an adventure and like that. But since he's retired from Starfleet, he pretty much cannot partake in it, or as we see. So over time, he meets Daj, who turns out to be a synth? Robotic, like, it's pretty much the same thing that Data was. So, but she comes along, and she's being chased by these Romulan like soldiers, and she's like, I came to you because I feel like you're the one that can help me. So he does start to help her, but then she gets killed within the first episode by the Romulans. Come to find out that there's a whole, like, tale behind it. Like, she's part of this whole prophecy that her and her sister, one of them's a good, one of them's a bad, and pretty much the Romulans need to stop her before she destroys the world, or destroys Earths or planets. I'm not exactly sure what they were saying entirely, other than maybe they're gonna like whatever, like explode the planets pretty much. So anyways, so we learn more as we go on, and we see that Daj isn't the only one. She also has a twin named Soji. Soji is on this huge like cube in space called the Borg cube, and it's insane. It's scary, and if you remember the Borgs, if you remember the movie too, like they're super scary, they're super intense, and but they're not really active entirely. This is kind of a cube that's being like studied. It's a dead Borg cube that's being studied by the Romulans and by some of the other people of Starfleet. So, but obviously the Romulans are known for being the pests of the Starfleet, so they pretty much are like planning undertone stuff to like stop Soji and all the other sisters, and also try to stop the other type of android. I don't remember the name. I'm probably going to put it in the little bottom just so you can see it. But they're trying to stop people like them because it was having these androids around caused, well, let me back up. Because there's something happened on Mars, pretty much what had to do with the androids, and pretty much because the androids like started killing like all these people on Mars, So due to that, they pretty much just banned any type of like making of these people. So as things go on, Jean-Luc Picard feels like that he needs to find Soji and save her, she's on the Borg or cube as well. So he gathers up a team. So he has Dr. Agnes Jurati, who's played by Alison Pill, who's done Milk, Scott Pilgrim. She's along for the ride because she knows a lot about the androids. Then we have the pilot, which is Cristobal Rios, who's played by Sangelo or Santinagelo. I'm just butchering his name, but he was in Big Little Lies and Heroes, and then they had a friend of Picard who was in the Starfleet with him in some way, Ralphie Musker, who's played by Michelle Hurd, who's in Blind Spot. So pretty much them on top of another person who's also a new character who was on a different planet, who's like trained to have these like intense like fighting skills, whose name is Elnor, and he is he's a very newly actor who's done Fantasy Island. So pretty much all those together go on a ship, take it all the way down to the Borg box. They find Soji, who's also in trouble because the Romulans are finally finding out that she's one of the androids. So they try to kill her. She escapes with Picard. They go to a different planet. They find Will Riker, who is one of the OGs, and he helps them out. And excuse me. And it goes on and on, so they find the planet where Soji was made. They go to the planet. They find out there's a shit ton of other androids like her there. And pretty much Picard in the group says, like, hey, there's Romulans coming here to destroy you guys. So they all are, like, lightly kind of concerned, but one of them is way more proactive about this, her name is Sotra. She is the third sister pretty much. I don't know. They didn't really explain that there was a third one. They just made it seem like there's only two. Anyway, so pretty much goes on to where she's like, oh, they're not going to destroy us. We're going to call on these like mechanical entities, or that once you like summon them, they come out and they destroy they protect us, but they're also like very intense, and they are what the Romulans are afraid of, is what they think is going to be the end of the world. So Picard points that out, but Sotra doesn't believe that. She wants it to happen. With the help of Soji, they almost summon them until the Starfleet comes through and kind of just come with Will Riker, which is, he was saying he wasn't going to be part of it, but he is. So he pretty much just stops and just like, if you do this, we're going to assume that you are pretty much terrorists, and we're going to kill all of your, like, you're going to go into battle, and just so you know, we have a lot more gear. So they back out, and the day is saved. Picard, who has been dying throughout the whole series, does technically die, but they save his data inside his mind, his mental, like, conscience, onto an android, and pretty much now he's one of the androids. But I felt like the weirdest part, which I feel like is a bit fucked up, is the fact that they gave him an android body with no powers, like, but can age, and just like, oh, so you're like, you have 20 years to go, so you will live those 20 years, but you're not going to live forever, which is I feel like kind of sucks. Would also be great for a extension of seasons with just robotic Picard. But with that said, like, the whole thing is phenomenal. The whole movie, the whole show is amazing, and I am like, I'm not really a huge, like, this sounds bad because it's not like I'm an anti-fan. I just don't, I've never really invested into everything. I know and love Picard, but I never invested deep into it until recently. So seeing all of this, I can finally be with the people that are huge fans of Star Trek and be like, yes, I totally agree. I can totally see what you're looking at, what you're excited about, because I'm excited about it now. There were a couple shout outs. So 7 of 9 joins the crew. She shows up. Hugh is just part of the Borg. He shows up, and Data kind of shows up in different pieces as like dreams in the afterlife, a lot of pieces like that. So it's great, and I definitely think that yes, I am doing this review, but I definitely think that if you're looking for a more in-depth like direction of understanding what's going on in the series, I highly recommend going to I keep on saying GameSpot Universe, which is on YouTube. Check them out. They just go through episode by episode with way more detail than I can even give. But this is just how I feel about the show myself, and I really like it. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I think everybody should watch it, even if you're not even interested, if you don't know that much about Star Trek or the Next Generation one. I think you'll still enjoy it. Because a lot of things are there, but a quick look up, Googling to understand some things, it's all you need. But anyways, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about it. All you Trekkies out there, please feel free to comment. I would love to know, as a true blue Trekkie, what you think about the show. Are you excited for the second season? I'm assuming we're getting a second season. But anyway, yeah. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see you all in the next video.